In this episode, we talk about a horrific car accident that killed 6 people in Dehradun. We also talk about a case of severe ragging in Gujarat. But first, we talk about Delhi facing the highest AQI of the season. Hi, I am Niharika Nanda, and you are listening to 3 Things, the Indian Express news show. With the air quality in Delhi being recorded as severe for the past 5 days, yesterday Commission for Air Quality Management in NCR and adjoining areas ordered the imposition of Graded Response Action Plan Stage 4, that is GRAP Stage 4. GRAP Stage 4 promulgates the highest level of curbs. Delhi recorded the AQI of 441 at 4 p.m. yesterday, and seeing a consistent rise in its severity, GRAP 4 was ordered. To learn what it means to implement GRAP Stage 4 and the measures that the Delhi government is taking to improve the air quality situation, we have Indian Express's Sophiya Mathew joining us. Sophia, this year, what are the current measures being adopted by the Delhi government to deal with the severe AQI?
Niharika, for days in a row now, the air quality has been worsening, and on Sunday night we saw that the air quality reached severe plus category, which is the most hazardous levels, and this is the time when the air quality can affect even healthy people and seriously impact those with already existing diseases. So because of this, a lot of measures are in place, and these are the highest anti-pollution restrictions which can be imposed in the National Capital Region. And Delhi government announced on Sunday a closure of all classes except for those who are in class 10 and class 12. Secondly, Niharika, there is a strict ban on plying of diesel-run Delhi-registered medium and heavy vehicles, except those carrying essential commodities or providing emergency services. There is also a strict ban on truck traffic entering from other states in Delhi, except for those which have cleaner fuel standards such as BS6 diesel trucks, CNG or electric run trucks. These are permitted from entering Delhi. Then there is no permission for commercial vehicles which are registered outside Delhi, other than those which are again of clean fuel standards such as BS6 diesel, CNG or electric vehicles. There is also a complete ban on construction and demolition activities, and exceptions are made for healthcare works, railways, metro, airport or defense-related activities. This time under GRAP Stage 4, even works such as flyovers of roads, of overbridges, highways are not allowed. We may also see a closure of additional educational institutions and closure of colleges, closure of non-emergency commercial activities, and most interestingly, we may also see odd-even scheme if the state governments issue orders. All these are recommendations which are there under GRAP 4.
Right, and the Graded Response Action Plan or GRAP is a common measure used every year, and in such severe conditions, its Stage 4 has been promulgated starting today. So can you tell us what is GRAP and how many stages does it have?
So for matters related to air pollution management in Delhi NCR, we have a overarching body which is called the Commission for Air Quality Management, the CAQM. It imposes a set of emergency response measures in a stage-wise manner, depending on the air quality forecasts which are available by India Meteorological Department and Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. And these measures comes under a plan called the Graded Response Action Plan, GRAP. And the GRAP is invoked in 4 stages. Ahead of the air quality, expected to, sustain in very poor, severe or severe plus category conditions. So GRAP 1 is invoked if the AQI breaches the 200 mark, and GRAP Stage 2 is invoked when the AQI is between 301 and 400. The measures become more stringent with every stage. So right now in the capital, GRAP 4 has kicked in, GRAP 4 is the most advanced stage. And under GRAP 4, we see a lot of linear projects of the government like highway works, flyovers, roads. These are also banned. Whereas in GRAP 3, we see that, there are exceptions. CNG, electric, and basic diesel vehicles are allowed.
Right. And Sophia, what does the state government and the central government have to say regarding the current severe situation of Delhi?
With every year, when the issue of air pollution comes into the spotlight, or when it's discussed so much, there is a political slugfest that emerges in Delhi. Usually, there's a blame game that emerges between the Aam Aadmi Party-led Delhi government and the BJP-led neighboring states. So this time also, this is the case. It's not different from previous years. The Aam Aadmi Party-led Delhi government, for example, blamed the interstate buses from the BJP-led neighboring states of Haryana and Uttar Pradesh, for instance, to be responsible for increasing the pollution load in Delhi. Meanwhile, BJP government has attacked the state government over its mismanagement of pollution and failure to reduce it over the years. Now, the Delhi government has claimed that it has intensified action with its summer and winter action plans. The Delhi government has claimed that it has augmented metro services. The Delhi Transport Corporation has introduced shuttle bus services. So the Delhi government claims to have also intensified, the dust mitigation measures. But even before, it has been, saying that the air quality has been seeing an improvement because of the measures and the continuous action it's taking.
Right. But recently, the Supreme Court had questioned the Delhi police regarding its lack of supervision as far as the cracker ban is concerned. So, have we seen any developments post this incident?
So Delhi government ordered a complete ban like, the previous years on firecrackers on 14 October and it is in effect till January 1, 2025. Now, the Supreme Court has very recently pulled up the Delhi government, mainly the Delhi police, for not enforcing the ban in a serious manner. And in the November 11 order of the Supreme Court, it has observed that the Supreme Court bench has failed to understand why there is a delay in the promulgation of the order till October 14, and has observed that this delay could have been the cause for users, to get enough time to stock up the firecrackers, and which is why there were firecrackers violations observed in the festival season. And the ban is still not effectively implemented, definitely, because on festivals occasions, weddings, crackers are being burst in blatant violation, and there is a need for better implementation of the ban. Delhi does not have any official firecrackers manufacturing units. So it still needs to be assessed how the violations are occurring. And the Delhi government is yet to announce whether it's going to implement a year-round ban. And this decision it has to make before November 25, as per the Supreme Court order.
Right. And what does the India Meteorological Department have to say as far as the possibility of an improvement in the smog and pollution conditions of Delhi are concerned?
The meteorological conditions are very important when it comes to the air pollution scenario in the NCR region. And weather conditions for the coming days are forecast to be unfavorable for the dispersal of pollutants. The IMD has forecast a dip in minimum temperature by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius. And while the maximum temperature is forecast to be hovering around normal, but the weather conditions like wind speed and wind direction, these are also very important. So the IMD has also forecast an intensification of fog conditions. The IMD has issued an orange alert on Monday because of intensification of fog conditions. It has forecast smog or dense to very dense fog in the morning hours, with shallow fog or smog in the evening or night hours. Whereas it has also said that there'll be mainly clear skies in the coming days. So we are still uncertain on whether November there'll be any rain. Usually what happens is a rainy day brings respite to the pollution scenario. However, it's still uncertain whether it'll rain. But the IITM, the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, has also said in its forecast that the air quality levels is expected to be in severe or severe plus category.
Right. And Sophia, earlier you had mentioned that the Delhi government had said that the interstate vehicles were causing an increase in the pollution. And another reason that we get to hear every year is the stubble burning. So, have the actual reasons been narrowed down as far as the severe pollution conditions of Delhi are concerned?
Stubble burning is a seasonal issue. So every year we observe that around this time, and the data is usually monitored by the Indian Agricultural Research Institute starting September 15. The farm fire data is observed, and the data shows that this time in states like Punjab and Haryana, the farm fire counts have been an all-time low compared to the same time period in the previous years. But this again not a positive sign because the target is to completely eliminate stubble burning cases. However, there are hundreds of cases, and so far there's not been a complete elimination of stubble burning. The stubble burning contribution in Delhi is still around 37%, and it stands as the most significant contributor to the particulate matter pollution load in Delhi NCR at present. Apart from this, vehicular sector is a major contributor. And according to a recent study by the Center for Science and Environment, which is a important think tank, and it has stated that vehicular sector is emerging top significant contributor in air pollution scenario in Delhi. According to data by the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, vehicular emissions stand at around 12%, which shows that it is the top contributor in the domestic level. So this needs to be, regulated. And similarly, there have been studies by Center for Science and Environment, which states that about 80 to 90% of the construction and demolition waste is not utilized, it's not repurposed. So the construction and demolition waste is also a significant contributor, and there has been no efficient management of this particular section of waste. So this has also been an issue that experts have pointed out.
Right. And you also had the opportunity of talking to some school principals regarding this. So, what was their reaction?
So, when we spoke to a few top school principals in Delhi, all of them pointed out to the sorry state of affairs because every year this has been happening. It's not new to them. Every year they are expecting the classes to transition towards online mode. And for senior students, it comes a bit late. For students of classes up to 5, for them, the classes are made online initially itself. After COVID-19, they said that the entire community, student-teacher community, as well as parents, have learned a lot on how to embrace themselves or how to react to situations where they have to transition to an online learning. But things are not the same as the pandemic time because then the parents and everybody, families were confined to the four walls of home. But now the parents are going to office, and these are children who are 4 or 5 years, very young, who don't know how to set up, these virtual platforms by themselves. So there's a constant monitoring required. Another thing is young students don't have the attention span of online classes. So teachers are overburdened. They have to now change their, lesson plans, and they have to make it more interactive. They have to make sure that the children are not bored even when sitting at home. And most importantly, it was pointed out by an educator that it has a severe impact on their social behavior. Another major issue is resource barriers. So parents who are coming from, poorer economic backgrounds, they cannot afford a seamless network connectivity.
Also, Sophia, this has become an yearly problem for Delhi. And as the Supreme Court had stated, the citizens of the country have a fundamental right to live in a pollution-free environment. So has the state government or the central government taken any measure to remove this problem from its very root?
So the central government and the state governments are taking measures, yes. But just like it was pointed out recently in the latest Supreme Court order dated November 11, there have not been enough prosecutions, and the Supreme Court bench itself had pointed out that state governments are busy issuing show cause notices to officers rather than prosecuting or taking action against farm fires happening. So, to an extent, inaction from the CAQM is an issue. There's a clear lack of resource utilization when it comes to the state governments. And in fact, when you see the utilization of NCAP is basically a National Clean Air Program, which was launched by the Environment Ministry in 2019. The NCAP fund expenditure or utilization is very pathetic. So under NCAP, basically funds are allotted to different state governments and union territories, and they have to meet the targets, CAP targets, and basically which is to cut the particulate matter pollution by 40%. Now, what the government records are showing or are indicating is that the use of funds is very low, especially when it comes to Delhi NCR, because Delhi is among the bottom 5 cities. It has only utilized 32% of the NCAP funds. A lot of attention goes on issues on using methods like cloud seeding or artificial rain. But in essence, the basics is not being done. Like, why there no implementation or enforcement of a firecracker ban? So this is a concerning trend.
A small disclaimer before we venture into this segment. The contents of this segment might be descriptive and uncomfortable. Listeners' discretion is advised. Next, we talk about a horrific accident in Dehradun. On 12th November, an Innova carrying a group of 7 people was found in a completely mangled state in Dehradun post an accident that was allegedly caused by the overspeeding of the car. The accident killed 6 of the 7 people who were in the car, and the sole survivor is battling for his life in the hospital and facing severe injuries. In this segment, Indian Express's Avaneesh Mishra shares deeper insights about the case and the details found in the police investigation. Avaneesh, can you explain to us what happened in Dehradun where a car was found in an absolutely mangled position?
Yeah, it was early hours around 1:30 a.m. of 12th of this month. And there was this Innova car, and it had like 7 people, 7 youngsters in it. And for some reason, it was traveling at a very high speed, and it accidentally hit a container when it reached the ONGC Chowk in Dehradun after covering a distance of 1.5 kilometer from Kishangarh Chowk. It was a terrible accident because the roof of the car was, completely removed from the car itself. And after the accident, there was a video viral of this particular incident, and it showed like body parts lying on the road in a pool of blood. And it was really horrific. There were headless bodies because, as I told you, because of that accident, the entire roof of the car was, removed from the car. And it was a terrible accident. And after the accident, like 6 people who were in that car died, which included 3 women, and another person is injured and is still critical and under treatment at the Synergy Hospital in Dehradun. And after the videos after the accident went viral on the social media, there was a lot of discussion about this because the visuals were very horrific. So yeah, this is the accident, and this is right now the talk of the town across Uttarakhand.
Right. And do we know any details of the passengers who were in the car?
Yeah, these are all youngsters, and most of them are like university students, and the age from which they belong ranges from 19 years to just 24 years. And if you want the exact details, then the deceased have been identified as Guneet, Rishabh Jain, Navya Goyal, Atul Agarwal and Kamakshi. While Siddesh Agrawal, who's 25 years old, he's seriously injured and is still under treatment and unconscious at the Synergy Hospital.
And Avaneesh, has the investigation been able to reveal what caused the accident?
Yeah, so the police has started investigating this particular incident, and they found some CCTV footage. But strangely, they found that at most of the time, this car was seen traveling at a normal speed. Like as I told you earlier, that the car covered 1.5 kilometers from Kishangarh Chowk, and this distance was covered in about 6 minutes, which makes it clear that the speed of the car was normal. However, later, right before the accident, the car, for some reason, it gained speed, and traveling at a very high speed, it hit the container, and that is what caused the incident. Why there was this sudden increase in the speed, that part is still unclear, and the police are waiting for the injured Siddesh Agrawal to gain consciousness, and after that things might be more clear. And at the same time, they are also looking for more CCTV footage or any other evidence which could kind of clarify the situation under which the accident took place.
And what did the police have to say about this case?
Obviously, the most important message which both the police and administration is trying to convey is the importance of, following all the traffic rules and not over speeding or driving under the influence of alcohol. So that is the immediate response of the police. And as far as the incident is concerned, as of now, there are several theories that, there is this theory that this particular car was probably racing with a BMW or some red colored car. But as of now, the police has denied that there is any such clear evidence which suggests that there was any racing happening or anything like that. And as far as how exactly the incident happened, that part is still under investigation.
And Avneesh, have any FIRs been registered?
Yeah, there is one FIR registered under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, and it is registered on the complaint of the father of Siddesh Agrawal. And however, he has not named anyone in this particular FIR. And I talked to the Dehradun SSP Ajay Singh, and he said that his father got this FIR registered just so that there could be a proper investigation, an official investigation could happen in this particular case. And that is precisely why an FIR is registered. However, as I mentioned earlier, no one has been named in this FIR. On the basis of the complaint, a case was registered under section 106/2 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, which deals with the punishment for causing death by rash and negligent driving and fleeing the scene without reporting the incident. However, no one in particular has been named in this FIR.
Right. And Avneesh, what is the current situation as far as the police investigation is concerned and the entire case is concerned?
If we look at the incident, I don't think there is much more to the investigation. The only part people are wondering about is why there was this sudden increase in the speed. I don't think getting clarification will solve too much of anything. But as of now, the most important thing, because this was an accident and there is no foul play angle in this, because as far as the investigation so far is concerned, the driver of that container was not at fault. He was driving, and it was probably because this Innova car was traveling at a very high speed, and that is why the accident happened. So what we know so far, based on that, we can say there is no foul play. However, there is this factor people want to know, that how exactly this happened, so that probably there could be a proper message given that what are the things that can go wrong if you are driving at a very high speed. And also another important thing is that as of now, there is no confirmation or no proof that the driver of the Innova car was under the influence of alcohol. However, this particular incident is also being used to give a message that no one should be driving under the influence of alcohol, or no one should be overspeeding on the roads. Otherwise, there could be repercussions like it happened in this particular case.
And Avneesh, if we talk about incidents like this, especially when car accidents, horrific car accidents for that matter, happen due to carelessness, overspeeding, alcohol consumption, or other similar reasons. For example, a couple of months back, there was this Porsche accident that happened in Pune. I'm not comparing the two incidents because they are very different from each other, but they do involve a car accident that caused the death of a human being. And in this case, for that matter, 6 of them. So what kind of measures are being taken by the government or the police in order to spread awareness regarding similar accidents that can in fact be life-threatening?
Yeah, this is a very important point. However, I wouldn't go as far as to compare both these cases, because both are very different cases. In the Pune Porsche case, there is a clear proof that that kid was driving under the influence of alcohol and at a very high speed. However, in this case, there is no proof of alcohol, and also most of the time that particular car was driving at a very normal speed. So I wouldn't compare both these incidents. However, as far as the implementing the rules is concerned, I was having a very casual conversation with a senior police official, and they said that, I mean, there are certain things they have to keep in mind. Like if like Dehradun is a tourist place and like putting up a lot of barricades across the city, then that kind of put a dent on this image of a tourist place, because people would not like to go to a place where there are a lot of barricading. However, at the same time, the police has to make sure that the rules are being followed, that no alcohol is being served after the designated timing, which is like different for different places. So yeah, police needs to be implementing these things, which of course we can say that is not being implemented. But at the same time, I think police also has some limitations, and it is the responsibility of the society and the parents to make sure that these things are taught within the society. And we cannot be totally dependent on the authorities and the administration, and we all have to take responsibility for things like these.
And in the end, we talk about a case of severe ragging in a college in Gujarat. An 18-year-old MBBS student of a medical college in Gujarat's Patan district died after allegedly being made to stand for 3 hours during ragging by his seniors. The college has started a probe into the incident, which took place on Saturday. The deceased, who apparently fell unconscious after being made to stand for a long time, was a first-year MBBS student at the college. The college dean, Dr. Hardik Shah, said that the victim, Anil Mithania, fell unconscious and died, allegedly after being made to stand for 3 hours during ragging by his seniors at a hostel of the GMERS Medical College and Hospital at Dharpur in Patan on Saturday night. He said, quote, "The student was rushed to the hospital after he collapsed, and attempts were made to revive him failed, and he was declared dead. His classmates said Mithania died after being made to stand for 3 hours and introduce himself before seniors at the college hostel." Unquote. He said that the anti-ragging committee of the college has initiated a probe into the matter, and punitive measures will be taken against the senior students if they are found responsible for ragging. The student's body was sent for post-mortem, and a case of accidental death was registered, an official from Balisana police station said. A first-year medical student at the college said that 7 to 8 senior students forced a group of juniors to stand for around 3 hours and introduce themselves one by one. He said, quote, "They forced us to keep standing and asked us not to get agitated. At last, a student who was also standing with us fell unconscious. We rushed him to the hospital where he died." Unquote. The victim's cousin, Dharmendra Mithania, told the reporters that the family was hopeful of getting justice from the college and the government. He said that he had received a call from his uncle saying that his cousin was hospitalized after having fallen unconscious. When he arrived at the hospital, he was informed that his cousin had passed away. Dharmendra Mithania said, quote, "We are waiting for the post-mortem report to find out the exact cause of death. We have found out that some third-year students made him stand for 2 to 3 hours as part of ragging, due to which he felt dizzy and fell down." Unquote. You were listening to 3 Things by the Indian Express. Today's show was edited and mixed by Suresh Pawar and produced by me, Niharika Nanda. If you like the show, then do subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also recommend the show to someone you think will like it. Share it with a friend or someone in your family. It's the best way for people to get to know about us. You can also tweet us at Express Audio and write to us at podcasts@indianexpress.com.